Hello, everyone. Uh, if you've seen my post, you know that I've been having audio problems with my videos, and especially my microphone. For some reason, it doesn't work sometimes. I don't know what's going on. But I wanted to get this video out to you because these are three amazing horror books that you absolutely should be reading. And that's my mission, and nothing, even audio problems, can stop me from fulfilling my mission impossible. But as a reminder, I have horror books for sale, and if you want to read any of the books you see on your screen, there is a link in the description, and you can go and pick them up for just $1 each. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. This month, I did not just upload a short horror story, but you can pick up my anthology Monsters, the whole thing, all 9 stories, if you're a Patreon member. I'm having some issues also with the uploading videos to Patreon from my mobile. It's not very mobile friendly, but I'm working on it, and I will get it figured out. So, but my Patreon is only 1 tier, and you're going to get a whole lot of content coming up. So check that out if you want to. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first book I want to talk about today is called The Day of the Door. This is by Laurel Hightower, and if you've read her before, you know she just brings the creeps. And this one is no different. This is about a family of 4 siblings who are being controlled by a very horrible, manipulative mother. They are kind of abused in the household. And one day she takes the oldest son, drags him into a room, shuts the door on the rest of them, and then the oldest sibling winds up dead. Now the other siblings, they blame the mother. They believe that she has killed him. But when it's investigated, it's considered an accident. So she doesn't really have any culpability in what happened. But 20 years later, they're going to have a little bit of a reunion because their mother has is going to be on a paranormal, supernatural kind of documentary, and she promises that she is going to tell the entire truth about what happened that night on the day behind the door. Now, some of these, the rest of the siblings, some of them do not want to have anything to do with it, obviously, but they all agree because they want to see her suffer. They want to see her confess, basically, that she was a horrible person and that she has killed one of her children. But this book is about much more than that, because as it goes on and as we experience their relationship and their reunion during this, this documentary, there are some very evil things in play, and eventually we will find out exactly what happened behind that door. But it's brutal and it's terrifying, and all through this book, that tension just builds. Like there's this, I don't know how to explain it, but you think you're going to get this big confession out of this woman, but then she's still this egotistical kind of woman who claims to love her kids, and there's this thought that nothing is going to come out of this, and her estranged children, her remaining estranged children, but things are going to be revealed, and it's going to be horrifying, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love this book. It has a lot of family drama. It has the mystery behind it, and like I said, it is just creepy throughout. And of course, I can highly recommend it to you. This will be a pre-order, but it's coming out later this month, and you should absolutely pick it up now. That's my recommendation. And there's a link down below where you can do that through Amazon. And next we have What Waits in the Shadows. This is a fantastic first novel from a first-time novelist. And when you find that perfect blend of drama and paranormal and the creepy vibe, I mean, it just sinks into your brain, and it's something you want to read, and it just keeps you interested, you know, and all that. And this one definitely does that, because it has all the beats of what you want in a horror novel. I mean, it starts out, I mean, the first chapter, right, is about a monster in a closet that a little girl sees. And when her father comes in to the room, and he's angry at this point, he opens up the closet and says, "See, there's nothing in there." Something in there grabs him, pulls him into the closet, rips him apart, rips off his head, throws it at the little girl. Game over, right? I mean, obviously there's a monster in the closet. This causes her mother to be in such a state of shock that she spends the rest of her life in a psychiatric hospital, rarely speaking a word. And so this girl, she goes through a lot of foster homes and everything, but now she's an adult. And again, it's 20 years later, but she starts experiencing things and seeing things and hearing things, and it's obvious that whatever was in her closet 20 years ago is now coming back for her, even though nobody will believe it. And it's just terrifying to think about that. Like, this thing waited 20 years just to mess with her, basically. And yeah, the whole situation is messed up, but it's very tense and very terrifying. You know, I absolutely love this book. Like I said, it's the first novel from this author, and nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I absolutely love the book, and of course I can highly recommend it to you, because you have to realize and you have to see exactly what this thing is, why it waited 20 years, why it's coming after her now, and all that will be involved with all the other characters we're going to meet in this book. And it's just, yeah, it's just great. So once again, there is a link down below where you can order this one, and yeah, I highly recommend it. And next we have Red. Oh, Daniel Lorne. Dude, why are you messing with my sleep cycle, man? This is one of the most beautifully written, vicious, brutal, modern day vampire stories you probably ever read. It is a novella, so it's not that long, but it has everything you could want with the subject matter. It's written in first-person perspective from the view of the vampire. But this vampire is not like the typical gothic creature of the night. He's a regular guy. He has a job. He has a wife. But right around Christmas, his boss fires him. But he has some knowledge. He knows that his boss is having an affair with his wife. And he also knows that through text messages that his what he considers friends and his in-laws are in on the secret, and they approve of it. They just don't like him. So he's kind of a put upon guy. And his boss fires him around Christmas, just and trying to be buddy with him, I guess you can say. But he accepts it because he has a plan, and this plan is is going to be bloody and horrific and terrifying. He has a plan to get back at his boss, get back at his wife, and everybody who's ever wronged him, because he is a vampire. But in the meantime, because we're reading this from his perspective, we're going to find out some things from him about the past. He's been abused in the past. He grew up in a foster home, and some things happened there. And we're going to kind of come to terms with how he became this creature. And he is going to have his revenge. And here's the thing about this book. It's like, the vampire is the bad guy. He's trying to kill people. He's the antagonist, right? But in this book, you'll kind of feel sympathy for him, because everybody's just kind of shitting on him. And they're trying to make him less than a man that he is. And so there's a revenge arc in there as well, and one that you might say, yeah, he deserves that. So it's kind of like taking the vampire should be the bad guy, but in this book you might be thinking, well, I can kind of understand that, maybe, yeah. But that's a beautiful thing about this, and it is so well written that you'll just be engaged in the story the whole way through. And the ending is perfect, and you're going to love it. And I can highly recommend it to you. Be sure to pick up your copy of Red at the link in the description. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time and spending it here with me. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.